Now, when it comes to what's been going on around Kendrick Lamar right now, more than ever, the rumor mill about his upcoming and highly anticipated album has been going absolutely crazy because beyond vague speculation and reading in between the lines to figure out where Kendrick Lamar and this highly anticipated project are actually headed, we are now at the point where people who are closer and closer to Kendrick are talking about the record and expressing their own excitement for the world to finally see what he has planned as recently. We have been hearing about this album from one of the most reputable, incredible groups we possibly could, as none other than multiple people from Kendrick's former label in Dawg Entertainment have confirmed that the record is real, and that the very prospect of it can't be more exciting. And now specifically, what first went down from TDE was a post on social media from a newer signee of theirs, Devin Malik, who posted out of nowhere and said mood, cause new K. album on the way. And now as Devin Malik is a part of the TDE family, and was even seen in the studio with Kendrick Lamar earlier in 2024. It's safe to say that Devin has been around the circles where this album is being talked about and maybe even worked on, as considering how key of a creative role Malik played on their other TDE and Black Hippie members projects like on Schoolboy Q's Blue Lips, which he was featured on multiple times. Malik is not just a part of the TDE lineage, but he is directly intertwined with the people on the label's roster who are tied closer to Kendrick Lamar than almost any other person in the entire music industry. And now beyond just these comments, which have seemingly given us the most definitive proof that a new Kendrick project is on the verge of dropping sooner than ever, a few days after Malik said this and ramped up the hype for this record, somehow the excitement and buzz was brought up to an even greater level because out of all of the people who could have added to this conversation about new Kendrick Lamar music, none other than the biggest artist on Dawg Entertainment now that Kendrick is gone decided to add their own input into this situation, as SZA decided to reshare Devin Malik's post and have it reach her millions of followers. And while we're talking about followers and having content reach a wider audience, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It helps me out a ton. But now, as SZA shared this post to her millions of followers at this point, which means that the biggest artist on TDE is confirming the fact that this new Kendrick Lamar album is on the way and that she can't wait for the world to hear it, and I'm sure her as well, as no matter how close people are to Kendrick, considering how privately he works, I'm sure maybe if she's heard a song or two, she has not heard the project in full. So with all of this, we do not just have even more proof that Kendrick Lamar will be coming in the near future with what is hands down the most anticipated album out right now, but we may have just found out who the first collaborator on this album is, which very well could be SZA, as with most artists. A lot of their posts on social media set themselves to be cryptic hints to what may be going down in the future, and considering that Kendrick and SZA have not released a song since 2018's All the Stars, and that record has more than proved that they are one of the best rapper and singer combos you can draw up together, as that track is almost a certified diamond hit. Which also, on an unrelated note, disputes the ridiculous narratives people have tried to say over and over again against Kendrick, saying that he needed to write about Drake to get a massive hit. But now back to what this post means for the actual future. What SZA is doing here may not just be telling us that a collab between her and Kendrick Lamar will be released on his upcoming album, but this also could be referring to the fact that this Kendrick Lamar album is dropping sooner than we could have ever expected, which only time will tell if this is the case. But now when it comes to Kendrick Lamar and the release and mission of dropping this album, as when we look at the state of hip-hop ever since the beef between him and Drake reached its peak, in this very moment in time, because J. Cole decided to squash any potential issues he had with Drake and welcome him right back into the space he has been destroying and diluting. And Drake is also getting ready to release more music in terms of both features and an entire Party Next Door collab album. The tides are starting to shift a little, not in terms of who is running and controlling the game, because we know Kendrick Lamar is the guy who has the rap world in his palms right now, but in terms of the noise and output of what the other members of the once lauded Big Three are doing, and as a result, they can potentially relayer the playing field and try their best to weaken the impact of whatever show-stopping and genre-freezing moments Kendrick Lamar pulls off next. And now with something like J. Cole's new song, Port Antonio, where he is revisiting all the beef that went down and is shifting some aspects of where hip-hop is at the moment. As from Cole's forgiveness of Drake to his passive-aggressive lyrics that still refer to the idea that he would win a beef against Kendrick Lamar if he actually tried. Considering the competitor and tactician Kendrick is, I'd imagine that he is still livid at all of the antics that are trying to be pulled off in the rap game, as even after Kendrick showed that he is truly a problem, and for anyone who decides to mess with him, that he will make you the laughing stock and have the entire genre turned against you if you push things too far. The fact that MCs who remain at the center of the genre are still trying to tip things back in their favor and try to find strange ways to make the impact and the humiliation of what Kendrick Lamar did for their reputation not seem anywhere near as bad, which at the end of the day is coming off more and more like pathetic coping. At the end of this all, it all means that for Kendrick Lamar, Whether moments addressing and diffusing these events are on his upcoming album, or he decides to pause the rollout for this record to address this new looming situation with J. Cole, as we only hear him speak through his music, besides when he was doing voice work in Pharrell Williams' new Lego movie Piece by Piece, which, by the way, check that film out. It is an amazing creative breakthrough, which just shows off how great Pharrell is as a whole. And the fact that Kendrick Lamar did get into a recording booth and speak about Pharrell in a year where outside of his own music and concerts, he has done absolutely nothing, just speaks volumes about how he feels about the guy and even just how loyal he is to him, which should be no surprise if you see how Kendrick defended Pharrell and stuck up for his legacy on Euphoria. But now, going back to this new Kendrick Lamar album, all in all, with the timer only ticking and a rap landscape where so many MCs, and especially ones that were humiliated in this beef, whether for their own choices or for what others did to them in both Drake and J. Cole, are seemingly trying to release more music and try and take back any of the spotlight they lost without actually instigating Kendrick too much. All in all, as rappers like these are trying to make things just an actual competition again, without actually being accountable for it as they release more music, Kendrick Lamar is definitely seeing this, as we of course all know from what we have seen this year that there is not a greater and more attentive tactician than him, and has prepared more and more on how to get back at his opponents in ways that can actually have long-lasting consequences and implications. So overall, with these posts confirming that this new Kendrick Lamar album is getting closer and closer to dropping than ever, and the current state of hip-hop right now having everybody aimed and ready to find a way to try and diffuse this run he is having and just try to make some sort of an impact that could really change the playing field one bit, Kendrick understands what he's up against and as a result is going to end up giving us more solo music very soon, and I don't think the next drop is going to be another cut that is released on social media and is more of a think piece and a track that is designed to challenge views than actually be a full-on commercial hit. And I also think the next time we hear Kendrick, he will be giving us the song that was previewed at the beginning of the Not Like Us music video. And now with the way everything is shaping out, while everything has been pointing to the fact that this album will be dropping in 2025 around Super Bowl season, who knows, maybe we will see something crazy happen around the holiday season, which considering Kendrick's track record this year would be right in line with what we have already seen. But now no matter where we are headed, all in all, it's safe to say that everything around this Kendrick Lamar album is getting more serious than ever, and when it does drop, I don't think Kendrick, hip-hop, or music for that matter will ever be the same. So now with all this said, let me know, what do you think about this new Kendrick Lamar album confirmation and buzz from TDE, and do you think we're going to be getting this album at the end of 2024 or on a later date? Now, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. And now, if you want to hear how things just got even worse for J. Cole and the situation he is in, as it has been reported that as an MC and a label owner, he has much bigger problems than just Kendrick Lamar, as what he is doing now can affect his legacy and hurt the grand lineage of his career more than we could ever imagine. Check out the suggested video.